Alright, so, want to make a video about the nature of reality, why we are here. Not necessarily why we're here, but kind of explain what is going on. I think that we're put here, we chose to come here, and we signed a contract. And the legal system, the contracts that we sign, they're all forms of magic, really, because they're all talismans with symbols and sigils on them, words or spells, spellcraft, and then they dictate the nature of your reality that you have to live by. They give you a certain way to manipulate things, sort of, because you have there's benefits, but there's also a certain set of rules you have to follow. So it's like you have to sacrifice something to get something, the equivalent exchange type of thing. But when you are coming here, I think we signed it up for it, and the whole legal system and everything really that exists in this reality is just like a trickle down version of what came through from the spirit or mind before it became matter. Consciousness before it came matter. And there's like people who believe that everything in heaven already is perfect and was already there. So everything on earth is just like a copy or like a copy of the perfect version of what is on heaven. And like, for example, I have some guitars, and I've got some cheaper guitars, and then I've got the Gibson Les Paul, and the Gibson Les Paul actually feels like it's closer to the perfect thing. It feels like it was made with some sort of divine, like, sacred geometry, some kind of rules that are sort of dictated by the principles of nature and reality and of the spirit realm or the heaven or whatever you want to call it. But I think this is what's going on with like the architecture. All of the old world, Tartarian, Moorish, neoclassical, Gothic, Victorian, all of the crazy, amazing, impossible architecture that we can't explain how it was built. All of that stuff is like they saw what some other world, some like spirit world, they saw what the perfect versions of those were, and they were trying to replicate it. And so, maybe even to explain how it was done, besides just like the technology that was advanced, maybe some of these things actually sort of manifested through, like, materialized into form in a sort of way, through geomancy or something like that. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe it's just like part of the program written in by the creator. And then I think money is similar, because you got money, which is a magical talisman. And I think money even is a form of thing. Like, people just kind of assume that there won't be this system and this form of money and currency that we use here when we pass on into the afterlife and go to the next life. But like, I'm starting to think maybe that there will still be that kind of stuff, and it's possible that even in the spirit world or afterlife before the next life, they have that stuff. And I think there's like people who are guiding us through this, and everybody has a role that they fulfill, and that's part of why they came here with the written contract sort of thing, or spirit contract. So there's spirit money, spirit tokens, and our money system is all messed up here, but that's because it's not the perfect form of whatever it was or ever it should be. Not necessarily was in the kind of timeline sense that we're thinking, but like something beyond time. So let me take a look at my notes here. I just wanted to, so I mean, I got this idea as watching things like Fantasia and Spirited Away, how they show in Fantasia at the end there's like the demon thing that's creating and transmuting spirits or something like that, and then the bell he hates it and it makes him go away and go to sleep into the mountain. But then there's like the lights that are guiding people through to what it seems like they're guiding them to rebirth into heaven. And then in Spirited Away, you've got the girl goes into like a spirit world, a different realm or dimension, and they use money and all that kind of stuff still. So, I don't know, it's interesting. I think because when we pass on, we maybe still have in our conscious mind, or how we perceive things would be similar to where it is now, because it's what we know. So it's what we actually would create our reality to be. And as time goes on, it may like subtly, gradually change, and so much that to the point to where it could be completely different, but you don't even remember what it was before because it's been so long. I don't know, but it seems as if maybe we did sign up to come here, and so we gave our consent possibly, but then we just don't remember that we did, and we don't remember the action of doing it. The pain of birth, there's a reason we can't remember our childhood and as a baby and stuff. And because it would be the pain of having to experience like life again and having to like eat and breathe and poop and all that kind of stuff, like having to do all of that again. I think that's about it. Well, actually, one more thing for sure to touch on, I wanted to touch on, is besides like there being like people who are set up to guide people at different levels, like everybody is fulfilling a role somehow for people at different levels, at different stages of evolution or growth. So I think that there is also some kind of thing with the family bloodline and the family crest and all that stuff, because that's all part of the law system, which I believe is part of the spirit world and how magic works, the rules of magic. Because they were using magic in the spirit world too, and it's probably like even much more powerful, but the family bloodline in the name, how you have the name that governs everything, it's how a demon is controlled, an angel, right? That's what we've think that's how it works. But we have some kind of, I think, spiritual tie to our blood and to the family line, and they say how there's guardian angels and demons that are somehow tied to your blood as well. But I think there's definitely something to like the family line that you are born into and why, and so it's probably important for us to understand our genealogy. And if we can as long as we can make sure that it's legit, the information we're getting through it, that might be the way to figuring out the actual history instead of what's been completely manipulated. Because I feel like the real history and the real explanation for all of this world and this system, it isn't just going to be found in the physical world, in the world of matter, material. Part of the story is happening in the spirit world or dimension or whatever. So yeah, I think, and for the quantum of conscience question about the Hay Impossible architecture researchers, I guess that's kind of my answer to it as well, with how these buildings were created, because they're being created that way in the higher dimensions and realms. So people in the past maybe were closer to that here because they had evolved to a certain point, and then maybe they left, or then the reset happened and they got wiped out. Also, I think that like the people who are put in the forms of positions that they are, it maybe was hijacked at a certain point in time, and or usurped or whatever by people. Everybody's kind of left to do the job and assigned to a role, but there's not necessarily always people around making sure you're doing it the right way, and people just everybody doing their thing. Nobody really knows what they're doing. They're just kind of faking it till they make it, and they're thrown in there, and next thing you know, they're doing well, or maybe they're messing stuff up. But I feel like that's kind of how it works. Like, there might be a reason they're supposed to mess it up too. Like, we don't know for sure. That's kind of what, the whole fate and destiny thing and the predestination. Like, I think there's definitely a certain degree of truth to that. I don't know, exactly how much, but yeah, with the impossible architecture, besides having like steampunk technology that we're not necessarily aware of now, and the wireless electricity and all that stuff, and the magic and geomancy things built on ley lines and all of that, besides it just being a one world empire. And yeah, I mean, because how did people, like, how is it that, great great grandparents or great 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 grandparents, do you think somebody would have been to these world's fairs and stuff and kind of, like, it's harder to explain, right? But I think, I don't know, maybe it was like a different reality came in. I don't know, but I think it does have something to do with how this stuff exists in like the higher realms and stuff. So maybe I'll try to think about it more later and see if I can answer his question better. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned for the next one. Have a good one. One more thing to add as well. I guess with the lights and the bells and the smoke and incense stuff, people are being guided, or spirits are being guided, which, I mean, people are spirits or souls. It's all kind of the same, whether they're incarnate physically or not. But I think that's the deal with like these churches and these priests and stuff using those things, because souls can get lost, especially if, once you've passed on into the afterlife, it's dark, right? And you have to perceive the astral light or something like that. And then you'll find like lights out there to guide you, or sounds and things like that, tones. But also, I think these are how, besides just the spirits and the souls of the dead are guided, it's how the people in the world here alive are guided. And kind of like we gathered all under the sun, I mean, who knows what else is out there beyond what's on the maps, but there could be other lights like that people are gathering under, besides just this sun. Anyway, just a little thing I wanted to add. Thanks for watching. Peace.